I have often wondered why so many people dream of wealth yet spend their entire lives trapped in poverty, both in their pockets and in their minds. I used to be one of them. I was a prisoner of my own thoughts, chained to doubts that whispered I would never have enough, never be enough, never do enough to deserve the life I saw in my wildest dreams. But then I discovered the secret Napoleon Hill whispered to millions, that all wealth starts within. The world outside is only a mirror of the world inside me. When I realized this, I stopped begging for luck and started building my own certainty. I remember sitting alone in my small room, a notebook open before me, and writing the first command I ever gave to my mind. I am wealthy. It felt ridiculous. How could I claim wealth when my pockets were empty? But Hill's words were clear. Wealth is born first in thought, then in reality. Each morning I repeated it. I am wealthy. I am deserving. I am capable. At first my mind laughed at me, throwing back memories of failures, debts, unpaid bills stacked on my kitchen table. But I kept going, and something strange happened. The laughter faded, doubt lost its voice, and belief, so small at first, began to speak. I started to act differently. I stood taller, looked people in the eye, spoke with more conviction. I stopped waiting for the right moment and created my own. I found opportunities where before I saw obstacles. I met people who mirrored my new confidence. Mentors, partners, dreamers, like me, who refused to accept life as it was. Hill taught me that thought, when mixed with faith and backed by persistent action, becomes reality. The riches I sought were not buried in some hidden vault. They were hidden in my ability to see myself as worthy of them. And when I did, the world had no choice but to follow. In my first small success, I earned more in a month than I used to earn in half a year. It wasn't just the money, it was the proof that I could bend reality to match my vision, that I could command my thoughts to serve me, not sabotage me. Today, when I stand before people and share this story, they ask, "How did you do it?" And I smile, because the real question is, how did I think? My thoughts became my power. My power became my actions. My actions became my wealth. And all of it started inside me. So if you listen to me now, hear this. You hold the same power. It's not your boss, your family, or your luck that decides your wealth. It's your mind. And your mind is yours alone. Command it, shape it, train it to believe in the impossible, until the impossible becomes your new reality. This is the power I hold within, the power you hold within too. Desire is not a wish. A wish is weak, fleeting, easily blown away by the smallest wind of doubt. But desire, real desire, is a fire that eats away every excuse I ever made for my failures. Napoleon Hill told me, the starting point of all achievement is desire. So I learned to feed that desire like a flame. Every day I ask myself, do I want this badly enough to fight for it? If the answer is yes, then faith must follow. Faith is not blind hope. Faith is a belief so strong that I see my dream as real long before anyone else does. I have lost count of the times people told me I was crazy. No one in your family has ever been rich, they said. Be realistic. But their version of reality was not mine to accept. I remember one night in particular. I'd invested every dollar I had in my first business venture. It failed. I sat in the darkness, staring at an empty bank account, the mocking voice of fear echoing inside me. You are a fool. You should have stayed small. But I refused. I got up, opened Hill's book, and read the line that saved me. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. I repeated it like a prayer. I stood up, wiped my tears, and reminded myself, if I quit now, the fire dies. If I hold the faith, it grows stronger. So I did not quit. I adjusted my plan, learned from my mistakes, and launched again. This time, I won. And the win was bigger than the loss, because I realized that my true wealth was not the money I gained. It was the faith I refused to lose. People around me still doubt, but I don't argue. I don't need their permission to believe in myself. I don't need their faith. I have my own. and that is enough to move mountains. Desire fuels me, faith sustains me. Together, they turn my invisible dreams into visible success, and they can do the same for you if you feed them daily. Ask yourself now, what do I truly desire? Then ask, do I believe enough to act, to risk, to persist? If yes, then nothing can stop you but you. And if you won't stop yourself, you are unstoppable. Desire and faith alone are not enough. They are the seeds, but seeds alone do not become a tree. They need action, consistent, bold, fearless action. I have seen so many people read every book, attend every seminar, repeat every affirmation, but do nothing. They hope the universe will reward their wishful thinking, but the universe rewards the one who moves, who dares, who acts, even when it's uncomfortable. When I first started this journey, I was terrified of taking the first step. I was scared of rejection, of embarrassment, of losing what little I had. But I realized that every great person Hill wrote about, Edison, Ford, Carnegie, they acted. They failed. They acted again. So I forced myself to make the uncomfortable call, knock on the closed door, pitch the impossible idea. Many times I heard no, but each no was proof I was moving. And each no, I made it a rule. Do one thing every day that scares me. Because comfort is the enemy of growth. Action is the bridge that connects my desire to my reality. If I stand still, my dreams remain dreams. When I move, they become my life. Today, I am no longer afraid to act. I know that failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to it. Every action teaches me something. Every risk expands my courage. Every step, no matter how small, brings me closer to the wealth I imagined when I sat alone in that small room years ago. So I ask you now, what action can you take today? What phone call, what meeting, what bold move can you make to prove to yourself that you are serious? Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Because one action, backed by burning desire and unshakable faith, can change your life forever. This is what Napoleon Hill taught me. This is what I live by. And this is what I share with you now, hoping you will act too. As I sit here and write these words, I remember the many nights when my mind was my worst enemy. I would lie awake, replaying every mistake, every rejection, every moment someone told me I wasn't enough. The mind can be a cruel master if I don't tame it. Napoleon Hill taught me that my mind is both my greatest asset and my greatest liability. The difference depends on who is in control. I used to let fear drive the car, doubt held the map, regret sat in the back, whispering directions. But one day I decided to take the wheel. I learned to become the gatekeeper of my thoughts. I chose what I allowed in and what I refused to entertain. I replaced I can't with how can I. I swapped why me for try me. When negative thoughts knocked on the door, I asked for their purpose. If they had none, I sent them away. Every morning, I program my mind like a gardener tending to seeds. I plant thoughts of abundance, gratitude, and possibility. I water them with repetition. I protect them from the weeds of gossip, complaint, and blame. And when storms come, because they always do, I remind myself that I'm bigger than any temporary setback. People still ask, aren't you afraid? Of course I am. Fear never disappears completely, but now fear is no longer the driver. It's a passenger. It reminds me that I'm doing something that matters, and as long as I'm in the driver's seat, my mind serves me, not the other way around. I do not wait for motivation. I create it. I do not wait for perfect conditions. I make them. I do not wait for permission. I grant it to myself. Mastering my mind means mastering my world, because everything I see, touch, and experience began as a thought. And if I can think it, I can build it. So I guard my mind fiercely, I feed it carefully, and every day I train it to work for me. To find solutions, not problems, to seek growth, not comfort, to spot opportunities, not obstacles. This is not magic, it's discipline. It's a daily practice, and it is my greatest power. Because when I master my mind, I master my world. If there is one lesson that changed my life more than any other, it is this. Success does not go to the smartest, the strongest, or even the most talented. It goes to the most persistent. I have met countless people with brilliant ideas. I have seen people with extraordinary talent, but most give up when the first door closes, when the first plan fails, when the first critic laughs at their dream. I have learned to love rejection, to welcome it as a sign that I am moving, growing, daring. Each no sharpens my resolve, Each setback tests my commitment. And every time I stand back up after falling, I become stronger than before. Persistence is not glamorous. It is not easy. It is not fun when I am broke, tired, or misunderstood. But it is the hidden key that unlocks all the doors others leave unopened. When my first business failed, people said, "See, it wasn't meant to be." But Napoleon Hill whispered in my ear, "Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." I chose to look for the seed. I found it in the lessons I learned, lessons about who to trust, how to negotiate, where my true strengths lie. When my second venture struggled, I worked twice as hard. I knocked on twice as many doors. I stayed up twice as late. I reminded myself daily that fortune favors the stubborn, the ones too foolish to quit. I remember the turning point vividly. One late night, exhausted, I looked in the mirror and asked, "How much longer can you keep going?" And a quiet voice inside answered, "As long as it takes." That was the night I became unstoppable. Not because the world changed, but because I did. I decided that no setback would ever outlast my persistence. Today, I am not the smartest in the room, not the most connected, not the most talented. But I am the last to leave the room, the one who keeps showing up, long after others have gone home, the one who tries again and again and again. And every time I do, the universe whispers back, "Well done. Here's your reward." So if you listen to me now, know this. Your secret weapon is not hidden in a book or seminar. It is within you, the quiet resolve to keep going when everyone else stops. Be persistent, be relentless, be unreasonable about your dreams, and watch the world bend to your will. No matter how strong my desire is, no matter how clear my mind is, no matter how persistent I become, I learned one truth from Napoleon Hill that changed the entire game for me. I cannot do it alone. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill calls this secret the mastermind principle, the alliance of minds working in harmony toward a definite purpose. When I first read that, I thought, why do I need others? I'm motivated enough. But soon I understood. Success is not a solo game, it is a team sport. In the early days, I tried to do everything myself. I thought asking for help was weakness. I wore my exhaustion like a badge of honor. But the truth is, my greatest breakthroughs came when I humbled myself enough to share my vision and invite others in. I remember the first time I sat with two people who believed in me. We had no fancy office, no huge budget, just an idea scribbled on paper and our combined energy. We talked for hours, refining plans, spotting blind spots I couldn't see alone. What I thought would take me 5 years alone, we did in 1 year together. The mastermind is not just about business partners. It's about surrounding myself with people who challenge me, support me, and hold me accountable when I slip. It's about conversations that spark new ideas, push limits, and open doors I didn't even know existed. When doubts creep in, and they always do, my mastermind lifts me up. When I win, they remind me to stay grounded and keep growing. When I fail, they remind me why I started and why I must try again. Sometimes the mastermind is one person, a mentor who has walked the path before me. Sometimes it's a circle of friends with dreams as big as mine. Sometimes it's a community of strangers connected by a shared vision. The key is this: no mind, however brilliant, can see everything alone. No plan, however perfect, survives reality without adjustments. No dream, however strong, thrives in isolation. If I had not found my mastermind, I would still be stuck in that small room, wishing, doubting, and doing everything myself. Slowly. But with the right people, I multiplied my results. I multiplied my courage. I multiplied my possibilities. So today, I protect my circle fiercely. I choose my company carefully. I seek out people who think bigger than I do, who believe more than I can alone. I invest my time in them and they invest theirs in me. Napoleon Hill said it best: no two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind. My mastermind is my third mind, the amplifier of my ideas, the insurance for my vision, the hidden fuel behind every victory. So I ask you now, who is in your mastermind? Who pushes you higher when you can't push yourself? If you don't have one yet, find one, build one, be one for someone else. Because together we grow rich, faster, stronger, and forever.